We are live.
Hello, 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 my beautiful people.
Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? I hope all is
Hello.
well. Do you know what today is? It's Famous Friday.
It's
Famous
Famous Friday.
Friday.
Hello, everyone. We are so glad
Yes,
that you were able to come on and make it today. Today is a very important Famous Friday. It was so important that we had to bring it to the forefront. We had to do this. We were supposed to do it next week, but we felt like it was very important that we do it this week.
yes,
So
right.
this is very important, guys. So thank you all for showing up. And we love you. We love all of our supporters.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate each and every
Hmm.
one of them. And sometimes, you know, we we hear all crazy things about us all the time, and like Danielle has always told me that we just can't, we have to, you can't answer everything. We can't. But the ones that we can answer are the ones who feel obligated to come on our page and try to chastise us and have not once asked, did we need any type of help?
Mm.
No
Won't
type of help.
won't offer anything, won't even, you would never see these people in Chicago doing what we do. Won't come into the communities, won't try to help, won't be on the ground doing educating the people, going door to door, trying to talk to the citizens that's right here in the communities. You'll never see these people, never see
No,
this person right here, never see them.
no,
But these are the people, when you have people that's rising up and trying to be the change that we know that we so badly need, then you have these people right here. Instead of saying, hey, they're doing a job I don't even want to do. I can't even imagine myself doing. I may think I'm too good to do. They're doing that job. So instead of me tearing them down, instead of me not, or even just speaking, don't even speak on them. Instead of me doing that, I would rather sit my, I would rather sit there and critique them and talk about them and put them down. I would rather see them fail on what the mission they have to do to save Chicago, because you don't even live in Chicago, but just to save their communities. I see I see the murders. I see what they're going through, the poverty. All while Zoe is doing that homeless. She's been very vocal, show her sleeping conditions. You all saw a picture. You saw her mother sleeping on the couch, her sleeping on the blow up mattress. Me can't take any my business, have suffered, my husband having to get a part-time job even though he's retired. All of these sacrifices we have made, and for this garbage right here to come and even put his mouth on what Chicago Plus Red is doing is pathetic. And this is a disgrace. And that's why I keep saying some things we're never going to address. We hear so many things about us, we're never going to address them. But I told you, when it comes down to certain things, when you try to take our name and put our
dragging
name,
through the mud.
drag it through the mud, lie on us, and tell untruth or things that you know is not true. No, we have to talk about it, and we're going to defend ourselves, because we're never going to let nobody water down the sacrifice we're making. We want everybody to know the sacrifices that we're making. We're sacrificing our life. I'll sacrifice my livelihood. I had a great business. Very, very lucrative business, making big money, training women, black women. So when I came out and started talking about the Democratic Party and started talking about Trump and I'm for Trump, what happened to my business. So, I don't, and I just look at it as God told me this was going to happen. I told him yes. And when I told him yes, when it all started happening, and I don't regret anything I'm doing right now and telling him yes, I don't regret it. I told him he can take away everything from me, long as he don't leave me. And he took away everything. But guess what, guys? He haven't left. He have not left us. So I had to say that, Zoe.
Oh no. I
Yeah.
think that was a great opener. And what needed to be said. So let's get into who this man is, this lucky man right here that
Let me make sure, ask the people, can they hear me good? Because I know sometimes I be breaking up. When I go back and look at our lives, I sound choppy. I want to make sure I'm very clear
they hear
today.
you. I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be very clear. If you start hearing me being chopped up and things like that, please tell me. I will go to another room. I need to make sure you all hear us very clear today. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right. They say loud and clear.
Thank you.
Yes. First off, let's we're gonna break it down. So Tom DeVore is an Illinois-based constitutional attorney. So that's dope. From Sorrento, Illinois, a small town in Bond County in the southern part of the state. He rose to prominence during the COVID-19 pandemic by filing lawsuits against Governor J.B. Pritzker and numerous school districts representing large groups of parents and workers opposing state mandates. I like that. I like that because I'm a sue too, man. Operating primarily out of downstate Illinois in the Metro East region, DeVore built a strong following among conservative and anti-establishment voters, eventually becoming the Republican nominee for Illinois Attorney General in 2022. He has since filed high-profile lawsuits challenging state policies, including Illinois assault weapons ban, often used as mass plaintiff legal strategy involving thousands of individuals. So he likes to chase. He's an ambulance chaser. He
Mhm.
likes to chase lawsuits with multiple plaintiffs. Was it class actions? And a majority of the lawyers have decided to get on that wave now, and that's why we don't have strong attorneys that we need to, because as long as they can hitch 45 on them, the more plaintiffs you get, the more money he gets.
Mhm.
But you know. Uh, DeVore is known for his outspoken and confrontational style, frequently criticizing both Democrat leadership and members of his own party besides himself. He forgets to critique himself. His career has also drawn controversy, including a disciplinary action by the Illinois Attorney Registration of Disciplinary Commission and temporary suspension of his law license related to an inappropriate relationship with the client. ARDC. Do you know how hard it is to get an ARDC complaint
And lose your license.
and lose your license? I mean, he
Also,
got it back, but yeah,
but he
lose
lost
your
it.
license.
Mm-hmm.
Despite that, he continues to position himself as a legal and political figure fighting government overreach in Illinois. Tom DeVore has overreached coming into Chicago Flips Red Lane. And he should have introduced himself to Chicago Flips Red, because I've seen him at 2 to 3 different events.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure he knows who we are, because if he didn't know who we are, he would not have been so comfortable getting on our page and trying to compare us to Rainbow Push, Jesse Jackson. Then I don't think let me get rid of this person right here, because this is not, we're not going to do this today. So
this man knew exactly who we were, and
knew
that's why
exactly
he
who we
did it.
were.
That's why he did it. This man, what happened was, guys, this man went after us. We keep telling you all, we stay in our lane. We don't bother nobody, because I keep telling Zoe, the work God have us doing is so important that the devil is going to throw so many distractions at us. We have to save Chicago, and we know how important that is. So we have to stay focused. But this, when you get people like this that come after us, and when they come after us and try to tarnish our name and stop everything that we're doing that's going to help Chicago, then we have to stop and address it. So he knew exactly who we were. He know the work we're doing. He know the change we're making. And so he decided to go and put posts on his page. And these posts were very, very cringe, very disrespectful, and trying to make us like we are scammers.
When the only person I see that scamming is my man right here.
Right here.
Yeah, this is the scam. This is the scam. But also, I heard that he's messed up and he's pissed off because what he did was very. I would have done the same thing if I was an attorney. Like I said, during COVID, I was living in Georgia, so I would have been suing like crazy. And one of the things that I told Bailey, when we did our famous Friday with him, I told him one thing that I commend him for was suing Governor Pritzker during the COVID, and now to figure out that he was the lawyer to do it. That's dope to me. You understand? I think that's great. You supposed to challenge the system. That's what we're doing. So you would think that a person who was not scared to sue this terrible governor that we got to get out regardless, you would think that he would team up with a group like Chicago Foods Red and
Right.
challenge all these First Amendment lawsuit challenges that we have been dealing with since Chicago Fist Red has became a group. But no,
See,
yeah,
these people don't want to help. They don't want to see Chicago. I really feel like half of these people don't even want to see Chicago change. They don't
no, they
care.
don't.
They don't care about Chicago, and that's why you have not seen any Republicans even win anything in Chicago, because we always said they don't come in the community, they don't come to Chicago, they don't let themselves be known in Chicago, and we okay with that. We're okay with that. We can do the work. We do the work ourselves. But what you're not going to do is come in while we're doing the work and making changes. You're not going to come and try to destroy that. That's what you won't do. Now, you won't come in here and do it or help anybody in Chicago, but then you're going to try to destroy the very people that's doing the work and committed to doing the work. That's what you will never do. You won't do that, and we won't allow it. So all of this, stay where you at. Stay wherever you at in your little cozy little big house and cozy little neighborhood. Stay right there. Fix that.
No.
Leave us alone. Because what you would never do is stop us from saving our communities and our city. You won't do that. You're not even good enough for us to even allow that. Who are you? You're nothing. You're nothing to us. We don't even know you. And we
Yeah,
don't care. We don't care to know you. People in Chicago never heard of you. They can care less about you, Thomas DeVore. They can care less about you. People in our community right now, you ask them, your name, ask them, do they know you? They don't care. They don't even know who you are.
that's why you lost. Like
Yeah,
that's why you lost against Kwame.
yeah.
We
So
can't even
right.
find Kwame.
So no, so leave us alone. We'll do the work that's necessary to save Chicago. But yeah,
Right.
guys, he put out, just came out attacking us. Just came out and attacking us for no reason. Zoe, I don't know if you want to show the what he started off, because in the beginning, guys, we let me just get a quick story. In the beginning, we just knew that Zoe she's having an issue. They took her mama property. You all heard about that. With me, me and my husband bought property. We couldn't get any business loans, couldn't get any grants, things like that, but illegal aliens were. So Zoe called for a town hall meeting. We showed up, I showed up, and some more people showed up. So we had established that we needed to do something because we all wanted change. And we needed to be the change that was necessary for Chicago. So we decided, okay, we need to get organized. So we need to make sure that we have shirts. We need to organize and make sure that we organize. So the person, Patrice, said, hey, you are probably going to need a LLC. You're probably going to need things like that, because that makes, because if you are calling yourself Chicago Flips Red, then you want to be legit, because you all are going to need money, because you're going to have to do everything yourself. Now, if anybody knows Chicago, what the Democrat stronghold is if in Chicago, if you as a Republican conservative group, you know how much work is going to have to be done in Chicago. So we didn't have no money. We didn't have it. So it was like, you're going to be needing people going to want to donate, support you all. They're going to do that. And the things that, the town halls, the protests, everything we know we needed to do. So she said, you all need to, maybe start off with an LLC. It's really easy. I can do it right now. And, we can get started. We're just like, yes, let's do this, because we know we need a change in Chicago. And this was before the presidency, because we know we couldn't allow Biden to get in, and then they flipped to Kamala. So that was that. LLC came, Patrice, gave us an LLC. Set us up, and because she said it was the best, she was the business guru. So we said, okay, took her word for it. That's what it was. Fast forward this clown.
This clown.
He makes a post.
Yes, because we go to I'm going to it now. Hold on.
Yeah, he makes a post about us because we're not a nonprofit.
Yeah, and because he feels like we're supposed to be, because we're LLC, and because we have people who support us, because we're media as well. We're everything,
Mhm.
and we don't mind. And I've always been very vocal. I am for profit. I am a capitalist. There's nothing wrong with capitalism. I'm a friendly capitalist. The only way we're going to be able to save our community, our
Mhm.
cities, our children is we're going to have to get money. And I don't want to support on no contracts. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to have to need the government in any type of way for these contracts, like all these other people be relying. That's what I've been relying. I don't want to rely on government contracts. I don't want to rely on the nonprofit
Mhm.
missions that at the end of the day, nonprofits, they have a mission. And with that mission, no CEO should be making six figures, because all the money should be poured into whatever the mission is, right? So for me and our we're a group of entrepreneurs. Me and Danielle is entrepreneurs. Miss Jessica is retired. Miss Jessica should be getting paid on her time speaking engagements because of what we went through. You have other people that are in our group that also are entrepreneurs. So we're a group of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, millennial entrepreneurs, some Gen X, but millennials. We also, it's also, our group is everybody's from Chicago. I am from New York. My mother's born and raised here. This is her city. I'm fighting for her city. But if you take me out of it, Danielle, born and raised in the city, Miss Jackson, born and raised in the city, everybody else is in our group is from this city. You understand? Some way have a business in this city, all this stuff. I've always pushed because I have a total of 5 lawsuits that are in federal. Well, right now, what, maybe 3 lawsuits in federal court now. Regarding my First Amendment, well, no, 2. Regarding my First Amendment, they won't settle the case with my mom. They won't settle the case with my godfather. They won't settle my 2 cases because they know that once they release the money, I don't need no help. We definitely don't need anybody. We don't need the government. We don't need any of those things, right? So in order to save your community, in order to save these kids, make sure the seniors is eating, everybody got what they need, stuff like that. You want to do the same thing that these bummy ass Democrats have done for so long, but did not have no mission. And the mission is making sure that if you're going to vote this way, we're going to make sure that you're provided with everything and you don't got to worry about losing your home. You don't have to worry about education. Your kids not learning, getting a good education. You don't have to worry about our kids normalizing that it's okay to get shot on a bus, to get some. Today, my mother says somebody on 39th and King, CTA, got shot in the leg. And it's a lot of Bronzeville shootings. Both aldermen are talking about it, Dow or Lamont Robinson. You're dealing with our children that are basically setting up a pipeline for them to not succeed in this cold world because of people like Tom DeVore. See, Tom DeVore, if he was a real constitutional lawyer, if he really believed in the Constitution the way that I believe in the Constitution, and when you really want to get this, your state under your state together, from you being from downstate, from us being from Cook County in the city of Chicago, you should have been locked in and been ready to take it on. You got your law license. You the constitutionalists. They're violating our constitutional rights like crazy. So if we can't get no help then we got to do it ourselves. And what we did was get our LLC like we're supposed to. We registered everything with the Secretary of State. We have our articles incorporated. We got everything we supposed to run our LLC and our business. The difference between us not going through the GoFundMe part, because that's what you really want, because you really want to see who's supporting us. And we have our engineer that's so cold that built our own in our website, right? So as long as we have a good tax person, and as long as I pay taxes, and my group is okay with us paying taxes, and our expenses go to everything that's for Chicago Fist Red, because we have a Chicago. That's the crazy. We have our Chicago Fist Red bank account. Shout out to Ramona. Because when what's the name had to when Patrice left us, Ramona came in and got us organized.
So we had people helping us, telling us which we need to do. You all need to do this, like you said. Thanks to Patrice and Ramona.
Yes, we have everything we have all our expenses. Ramona has it set up to every expense goes to where it's supposed to go, and it goes to the tax person. So that's our LLC. Now, some of the wording may have, because we had donate.
And we should have had support. So we didn't know these nuances. We didn't know because We don't, we didn't know. All we knew was what we wanted. We're not tax experts. We're not business experts, as far as on that side. So we were taking the business. Patrice, who was the business expert, she did that for us, and she just knew what we were trying to do. We didn't know to say certain wording. We didn't know that. But you learn. We're learning. We're new. We're learning as we go along. Which, okay, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But what you won't do, what you will not ever do is, you are a lawyer. You supposed to know this stuff. You know this stuff. So instead of this piece of garbage saying, hey, you know what? I see their work. I see their efforts. I see the what they're doing. I see how the change they're making. This wording may not be right. The way they did this is not right. Let me go and talk to them and say, hey, it's, everything is good except for these things, because they can come after you if you do this or if you have this. Instead of this piece of garbage looking at that and trying to help us, this right here, this piece of garbage would rather tear us down and would rather try to just destroy everything about Chicago plus Red that we built, instead of saying, hey, let me help. And that's how you know people hard. Because if you don't, even if you didn't even want to say, let me help, why would you come and say, why would you come in and try to destroy it? Why would you do that? If
Well,
you
you
don't want to
destroyed
help
it
nobody.
because they destroyed it because, and to be quite honest, this is where I understand the Black Lives Matter, we got the Black Lives Matter, you got the Jamal Bryants, you do have the Jesse Jacksons, the Rainbow Pushes, you have the Al Sharpton.
But so we
But
didn't
I
have,
get, but so I understand where they come in at when it comes to that. But you don't even know us.
and we don't have everything we have. It ain't like you still homeless. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm still, my bank account is always in the negative. Once we always trying to figure out how we're gonna get our mortgage paid. So at this point, it ain't like I don't even have a car right now. My car
How much
broke
we
down.
paying for Ubers?
Yeah, man, I don't even want to talk about Ubers.
Yeah. Okay.
My car broke down. We can't even afford to get it fixed. So the thing is this, it ain't like we getting donations, like millions. No, we get $10.
Yeah.
We get $10 here, $5 here, $20 here, $100 here, 500 here, stuff like that. Little, and we are transparent. We put on there, we got 22,000 from since we started a year and something ago. That's how much people have supported, gave us. We tell it because it's nothing to us to show
Right.
that. But we're not, when it come down to names, they want to know names, because you know why? Most people who support or give us $5 here, $10 here, they most likely work for the city, or they probably work in places that they don't want people to know, because they're going to get bullied. The city going to retaliate on them, target them. So no, we know some of our supporters are Democrats, and they cannot stand what's happening right now.
Right.
So
But
no,
the thing is, no one can critique anything that we have going on if you are not going to provide
right,
stability for me. Okay,
exactly.
you trying to call out sketchy stuff when it comes to what I got going on, and I'm out here unhoused.
And still fighting every day,
And fighting every day and fighting for everybody. Not just
and
fighting for
everybody.
myself, fighting for everybody. Like, damn, if they do this to me, and there's people that's not even speaking out. Oh no, we
And you
got to get some legislation. We got to protect the freedmen, because we don't have no legislation out here. Because
and you
people like Tom DeVore, who's a U.S. constitutionalist, who doesn't know what the 14th Amendment really stands for when it comes to freedmen, he's not and clearly not a true Republican, because if he
Mhm.
was a true Republican, then he would be a radical Republican, like he makes himself out to be, and then does stuff like read this. So, do you want me to say where what the post underneath was, or just what
Just what
he
started,
to
when
what he said?
when he first wrote about us, about the
So he
elder.
says, if you folks are all about transparency, that's why I said I think I got to read where he put it underneath.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, yeah.
So people can understand.
Now this came out of nowhere. This is what
Yeah.
he decided to do.
So on March 29th, it's still up here, y'all. Hey, Chicago Fist Red supporters and family. We see the tags, emails, and DMs about getting behind Darren Bailey. As a group that was built on transparency, exposing corruption, and truly fighting for the people of Illinois, the city of Chicago, and Cook County, we cannot and will not get behind any kind of candidate without first sitting down with them and having a real conversation. We need to hear the plan, we need to see the accountability, and most importantly, we need to know how that plan will actually benefit all Illinoisans, not just a select few or a political base. This isn't about popularity or pressure, it's about purpose. If any candidate wants our support, the door is open, but understand this support from Chicago Fist Red is earned through action, honesty, and clear commitment to the people. We're not here to follow, we're here to lead, ask questions, and demand better. With love to all our supporters and believe in us, Danielle and Zoe.
Okay, that was it. So that was it. That was the post. That was the post we made. Now, yeah.
And then my man, Mr. Constitutionalist, bad boy, Tommy DeVore, says if you folks
Yeah, what's
are
you post?
all about transparency, which I'm all in favor of, let's start by admitting what you mean by sitting down and having a real conversation that really means you want paid.
Now
Tell
listen to
people, oh,
okay, now let me show listen to that. We just told you we haven't even had a sit down conversation with Darren and Aaron together and talking about what their plans are. We just told you that. So they don't even want us to have that. Just shut up, just go blindly, give your allegiance to Darren and Bailey and shut up. That's it. That's basically what you're supposed to do. But carry on.
tell people about monthly fee. You proposed before you would support them. I'm told it was the range of $8,000 to $10,000 a month, possibly even a housing allowance. You folks and I might be from different streets, but we are both from the streets. Coming out here on social media making this post is nothing more than an attempted shakedown.
That's what he put under that post. That's
Now,
what this piece of garbage put under this post. Now, mind you, everybody we endorse, everybody we got behind, didn't haven't
give
paid
us
didn't pay us a
any.
dime. Didn't give us a
Now,
dime. And that
I
was
will
okay.
say this. Have they supported us? Like if we're going to like we've been to DC and stuff like that. Tadora has helped get a hotel rooms for me when I've
Yeah.
been out here unhoused. Um, um, what's my baby? Christian Maxwell helped us with a whole website to get us
Mhm.
started and all that stuff for her, like helping us in any type of way, social media that she can. Um, Christian McGovern helped us with getting organized, getting us spots in Mount
Mhm.
Greenwood. Um, Dave Dewar broke down the 8-5 strategy, shows up at the drag time story time. Him and Catherine McGovern, they came down the street when it was just me and her. Like everybody that we have got behind. We've got behind them because we believe that they are the change for Chicago and Illinois organically.
Organically. And let me say this. Everybody understand and understood who needed Chicago. We've been asking, guys. Right now, you see what the Democratic Party is doing. They're in the communities. They have coffee time with the seniors. They have it was some event they just had with the kids. They have venues. They're going door to door. They're having venues set up for people to come. So we've been saying we need venues. We need venues. We cannot get venues like that's supposed to be free because they won't give us venues because we are a conservative party. So they won't give us venues. So we have to come out of our pocket. We've been trying on Peer Space, looking for venues, things like that. These venues cost money. They cost money, and you're going to have to, have food and things like that for the people. Now, we don't have the money, guys. We don't have it. We are just trying to do it, make it with Uber, our office space, and Zoe just trying to get our living conditions together. So we really don't have, every penny, it's like when we don't know, like today, we might not be like, wow, I don't even know how we're going to do this because we don't have it. Somebody will come and donate some money. They'll say it can be $100 and and they'll get us our Uber for tomorrow. That's how it goes every day. It's like literally. So we've been screaming in order to have a fighting chance in Chicago. We're going to need money for venues. We're going to need money for pop-up shop. We're going to need money to do everything the Democratic Party is doing right now. We're going to have an alternative too, just on the conservative side. We've been screaming that since the first day we got, we became and been here. Nobody is saying, hey, we can help. Now everybody want to critique us. Everybody have something to say. They ghetto, they all of that. None of these Tom DeVore, because when Tom DeVore, when he supposedly helped the people sue Pritzker, did he charge them though? Did he do that at the kindness?
No, I gotta get to. Let's get to the next part. We gotta get to the next part.
Please, yeah. Okay, let me be quiet.
Yeah, so I don't never go on his page. I know he went on the page and said some other things, tried to talk about the LLC and not understanding what we got going on over here because he's a hater, and I understand, I would hate me too. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? I would hate me too if I've been here for this long and haven't did nothing.
A loser. If I'm a loser,
so I get it. Just making sure I got.
If they're doing all this and made all of this and moved the needle with no money, and I have money and I haven't did nothing, I'm a loser. I can understand why you mad too. I do.
Yeah, so I get it, and I get it. So that's why I be trying to give y'all. I let y'all blow the steam for at least 2 or 3 times, and then when you just start outright lying. And then making up stuff because you just mad, and I'm like, okay, let me step in real quick, and because after this, this is the first time and the last time,
unless something come out that needs to be addressed, and we're gonna address it. Unless if we feel like, oh no, we gotta address that. That's like
for Illinois and Chicago to have a fighting chance in the midterm.
Hold on. Shout out to.
So when they saw him attack us, these are the videos that they decided
right now. The Illinois GOP is at a precipice, at a very precarious point.
Oh, it's Christian.
So much beautiful infrastructure has been coming together to truly make it possible for Illinois and Chicago to have a fighting chance in the midterms. But what are we seeing right now? What we are seeing is that the Republican establishment is starting to subvert the efforts of the new grassroots fighters and movements that are trying to mobilize and unite all of the many pieces of the GOP. Many of you have not only supported my campaign, but you also support Chicago Flips Red, and you're always advocating for Chicago Flips Red to, to also support candidates like me and to do the work that they're doing because you've never seen anything like it before. Anybody who's seen what Chicago Flips Red is doing You know you haven't seen it before on the Republican side. It is new. It is new. And it's scrappy, and it's visceral, and it's potent, and it is putting Illinois on the map. It's raising the alarm in a way that people need. A person who's a part of the Republican establishment, and you all know how I feel about the establishment. I am not impressed by the establishment at all. But a person who's a part of the establishment, his name is Thomas DeVore, and you wouldn't know of him if you're not inside of Illinois. And I didn't even know about him. I've never heard of him until I, started getting involved more. But he's decided to basically try to break down and dismantle the efficacy of Chicago Flips Red. He put up some posts on Facebook that I think he thought would be like the nail in the coffin for them. We have to first ask ourselves, why would somebody who's a part of the Republican Party who wants to see it do well, why would it ever make sense to try to put a nail in the coffin of Chicago Flips Red? But we'll get back to that later. His entire premise is that Chicago Flips Red is an LLC. They are not a PAC or a 504. They're not a political organization, and you can't see anything inside of their private company, and that's bad. I challenge that, Thomas DeVore, because as a person who is a conservative Republican, I would never think that somebody's private company is my business. Somebody's private company, an LLC. I don't want to go to an LLC owner and tell them, hey, I need to see what you're doing with what are you doing inside of your business? Why are customers paying you? Why are they giving to you? And how much are they giving to you? And what are you doing with the money that they're giving to you? You know what that sounds more like? That sounds like the left. Kind of sounds like a leftist type of, just path of thinking. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for the left to do it, and it's not healthy for the right to do it. Here's why I personally have no issue with Chicago Flips Red being an LLC, and why I don't think anybody else should either. Let's think about the path of becoming either a PAC or a 504 or any of these different things. If you don't know, getting set up to create a 504 is a long process. It is not quick. It's akin to setting up a not-for-profit, which is also a kind of difficult process and kind of costly. You typically need to get an attorney potentially to even set up these things because it's a little bit hard for people to navigate. Setting up an LLC can happen literally under 30 minutes on LegalZoom for under $100. You see what I'm saying? So Chicago Flips Red is the definition of a grassroots movement. They got just enough legal covering to get out there and get to work, which is what Illinoisans like you say every day you want to see more and more of. You want us to get up and get moving because we have the energy, we have the intensity, and for some of us, we have the anger needed to do this type of work, being willing to risk and bear it all. If somebody is for the Republican Party, I ask again, why would you try to dismantle the efficacy of Chicago Flips Red? And my other component would be to try to accuse them of making a living off of Republican donations. I could almost chuckle. You all have seen that I've been very transparent. I keep a running ticker of my donations. At any point in time, you can check and see how much I've raised. That's the full tally. I've been on national media and everything. There were Democrats running in different districts all around me who literally raised, like 20x what I raised, and they were terrible people, but they were well-funded. There is no money in being a Republican. It's not a lucrative space. I'm telling you that. It's not. There is little to no finances on this side of things. So to accuse them of buying luxury bags off of their donations, I can bet that that's just not the case. I'm pretty sure their donations would not afford them Louis Vuitton bags or anything of that nature, because the Republican Party, especially in Illinois, is massively underfunded. Massively. There is no money. None. Even for the Illinois GOP, as of their last filing, they only had $200,000 left of the $1.5 million they raised. $200,000. So hopefully they had a better quarter last quarter. I say all this to say The GOP, you are the GOP. When I say the GOP, I'm not talking about the Illinois GOP, that little organization. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the establishment. I'm talking about you, the person with the high property taxes, the person who's fed up with how nasty these schools are, the person who's fed up with all the bathrooms trying to be blended because Democrats just won't, they just never have enough here in this state, the person who's tired of having your gun rights constantly under attack, the person who is trusting leadership and the establishment to finally get a spine and focus their efforts and get to registering new voters and supporting candidates who have a chance, and also grassroots organizations that have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time we put pressure where pressure is due, because the pressure should be on the Illinois GOP. The pressure should be on organizations that could have even given legal services to an organization like Chicago Flips Red to make sure that they can set up all these entities that people like Tom DeVore want to see. Because if I'm betting, they're probably having the same experience I'm having.
Right.
I'm literally figuring out how to do all of this on my own. I'm arguably one of the most popular candidates in this state. And not just popular where I'm talking about my followers. People truly want to see this happen in Congressional District 1. How many times have I talked to Kathy Salvi? I talked to her at a gala over a year ago. Okay, so the pressure should be on the organization that's raised $1.5 million. The pressure should be on the Illinois GOP. And for people like Tom DeVore, who have tons of time on their hand, and they say they want to, I mean, he's running he wants to be a PC, I think. Is he running? He's running for something. If you are running for something to uplift the Republican Party, this is probably a good chance. You should probably start by showing that you can support grassroots organizations, whomever they are, because they're necessary. The Democratic Party uses them all the time to destroy lives in Illinois, all over the state. The Democratic Party knows how to support their grassroots organizations. That's why they can mobilize those No Kings rallies, and it's slight work because they use grassroots organizations to do all of it. They have massive coalitions of them. Okay, so if you are invested in making sure that the donations you're sending to people like me or to orgs like Chicago Flips Red don't just get nullified because people like Tom DeVore are basically undermining your donations and your directions, because you as the GOP, you are giving directions and saying, I want to see this candidate supported. I want to see this organization supported. The Tom DeVores and the Illinois GOPs of the state need to go ahead and listen to you, because that's what they say they're here for.
Thank you. Thank you. That money they get, you think they offer us anything? The money they raise, nothing. We're all on our own out here, and we're okay with it. And I'm just going to be honest. Being a Democrat, when I was a Democrat, Zoe seen my closet. I could afford luxury handbags. I got all the luxury handbags. I got all the luxury shoes. I got all the luxury hats, all of that. Made good money being a Democrat. Going out here, didn't care what was happening to the community, didn't care about them pushing abortions, didn't care about them stealing our money. Oh, long as they were coming. I trained all Black women. They were coming. Made great money being a Democrat. Soon as I told God, yes, I would not go along with the pushing the abortion, the trans agenda, the genocide that's actively happening to our community, all the stolen property that they're stealing from us, from everybody, the destruction of Chicago. I will speak up and do what's right. When I told God yes and became a conservative, Zoe, how did everything
Man,
gone? She's not
gone.
lying. Being a conservative don't make you, it makes you
No.
broke. It makes you broke.
I'm still unhoused out here.
Yeah, broke.
And I'm not even complaining. I'm just letting y'all know. So every time that y'all try to question what we doing out here, just know I have no address when I'm done. Like when I'm done out here protesting, when I go in on Brandon Johnson and Tony Preckwinkle, when I get on live and break down all the fraud and all that stuff, like The only address I got is the office address. And thank you to the Chicago Fifth Red supporters that keep our operationals going. You know what I'm saying? We don't ask for much. I ask for $2,000 a month. That covers all operational costs.
That's it. That means Uber. That means it's actually more than that, but that's just
right.
it's way more. But we just, it's okay. Look, it's okay. We don't, what God give us, it is what it is. It's just for that day. It's like the manna he pulled down for heaven. You got to come to him every day for your what you need for your bread. So your daily bread. Every day he give us our daily bread. And that's what he do. And we are okay with it. I'm okay with, because the Bible tells me you have to be okay with much, and you got to be okay with little. I had much, and now I'm okay with little. I listen, guys. If he took whatever he took, everything from me, I told him, long as you don't leave me, I'm okay with that. So the only thing is, all the shoes and everything I have, I can't even wear. So what I say, it ain't even my whole dress, my style of dressing. It's abstract.
Hi everybody, Shannon Adcock here with Awake, Illinois. Happy Good Friday as we head into Easter weekend.
Stop it.
Wanted to just do a quick message
from Awake,
because I have been inundated with messages from.
Hold on. Okay, I didn't mean it came on. So what you saying, Danny?
This is so yeah, guys. I'm gonna tell you, when you stand up for righteousness, when you stand up for what's right, trust me, it's not going to be pretty. You're not going to be right.
Here.
And you probably gonna go broke, seriously. But that's the sacrifice. If that's the way God going to have you to do it, it's okay. Look, this lifestyle is not easy, guys, but it's well worth it, knowing that you are doing the right thing and you are doing it for people. I look at Zoe every day and I said, Zoe, man, she left for life. Zoe was in the entertainment set. She was with everybody. She showed me pictures. I used to be like, wow.
Everybody, Shannon Adcock.
She left that to come back here and look what she going through. So it's sacrifices being made. We could have stayed right there.
And I'm perfectly okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So when people try to step in my lane and try to tell me what I need to do, when at the end of the day, you are going home to your address, even if you got high property taxes. Hey, you know what I'm saying? To the ones who want a fighting chance in these seats, because I know if I run, I think that I would win. You saying? So if you guys want me to get behind you, I don't understand. I shouldn't be wanting for nothing, to be quite honest. And all I'm asking for is an address for me and my mom. That's all. So I'm just saying. Yeah,
anybody who wants you to come and work for them and do all this work that we know is going to be needed in Chicago, to get venues, to do research, to put out videos, to go into the community, knock on doors, everything. You should not be doing that unhoused if you want our help. Most of the people who said they wanted to help us, that we endorsed and who got on, the first thing they said was, guys, if they needed Chicago to win, the first thing they said was, if I do win, guys, I'm gonna make sure. They said, Zoe, I'm gonna make sure you got a house to stay in. I'm gonna make sure that they said they was gonna do that out of their pocket, and we're gonna make sure you have everything you need to help us win. Venues, whatever you tell us you need to get Chicago, all we are going to do is have to show up. Whatever you all need, just tell us. That's everybody who if they got on that ballot, this is what they told us.
Yep.
And the ones who needed Chicago. So yeah, and that's just the way it should go. Yep. Okay, but you can this Shannon from Awake, Illinois, guys.
Here with Awake, Illinois. Happy Good Friday as we head into Easter weekend. Wanted to just do a quick message because I have been inundated with messages from all of you talking about a bit of controversy that has surfaced online. What else is new? The internet can be toxic. But because I was part of some of what I think I'm seeing, come to light with this post by Tom DeVore, former Attorney General candidate, the Republican Party. He had sued on behalf of hundreds of us parents in 2021 against the forced masking of children. There's been some drama and some conflict that's happening. What else is new in Illinois? But I've had so many of you send me messages, and so I'm going to try and comment as best I can. I'm wearing my Fringe Minority Awake Illinois t-shirt. This was actually from 2022 because Pritzker was calling all of us a fringe minority of parents that were like, oh, hell no, you're not going to force these masks on our kids because this is unlawful. And there was a mom I connected to back in the day. And if you remember Emma Woodhouse, Jessica Hockett on X, prolific research into the quote COVID narrative of 2020. This woman, Karensta, who had been working in healthcare, she was the first person that I know of who really called out how Pritzker was violating the communicable disease code because she worked in healthcare. And eventually later, Tom DeVore was the only attorney, to his credit, who was like, let's start suing. Let's start getting these injunctions. Let's start filing in court. I wish there had been more people. I wish more attorneys had had the gumption. And sure, it would have been great if they had done it pro bono, like Ajay Gupta is doing right now pro bono on behalf of families for Title IX filings in federal court in Illinois. He's not charging anybody. But Tom DeVore did. He monetized it as an attorney, and I was a plaintiff on that lawsuit. And it was $5,000 per school district that joined. And at the start, it was 146 school districts. It ended up going from there. 5,000.
Pause it, Zoe.
Times 146, over $700,000.
I thought I am.
So hold on. This guy who just wrote on that post talking about shakedown and 8,000. I heard this. I heard you want this. I heard you want that.
Hi, everybody. Shannon Adcock here.
Did she just say he charged them? Now she wish she would have did it pro bono, but he charged them. Did she say 500? 5,000?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, listen. So listen to this, guys. This is very important because I thought I heard that.
Margaret, I believe in capital.
Okay, let's see.
Gumption. And sure, it would have been great if they had done it pro bono, like Ajay Gupta is doing right now pro bono on behalf of families for. Hi, everybody. Shannon Adcock here with Illinois. Happy Good Friday.
This is good. All right. Hold on, because she
Title IX filings in federal court in Illinois. He's not charging anybody. But Tom DeVore did. He monetized it as an attorney, and I was a plaintiff on that lawsuit. And it was $5,000 per school district that joined. And at the start, it was 146 school districts. It ended up growing from there. 5,000 times 146, over $700,000 on that alone.
Over what?
$700,000 alone. She said, "Oh,
what?
Yeah, Zoe. Okay, please
I ain't hear.
Yeah, let's go back and let's play it through because I'm hearing like you hearing, Zoe. Okay. I'm hearing yes. It's
charging anybody, but Tom DeVore did. He monetized it as an attorney, and I was a plaintiff on that lawsuit. And it was $5,000 per school district that joined. And at the start, it was 146 school districts. It ended up growing from there. 5,000 times 146, over $700,000 on that alone. And he went on to make a lot more money. And I don't begrudge him the fact that he monetized it. I really don't. I believe in the free market. I believe in capitalism. And throughout all of those things he was doing as a lawyer at that time, 2021 to 2022, I think he made like a couple million. So I find it interesting that he's criticizing Chicago Flips Red for monetizing, and they've openly said they're for profit. I didn't know that. I don't look into the nuances of any organization. Awake Illinois is a C4. We're a nonprofit. We make zero money. We lose money because we're in it for the mission and for the ministry of empowering people. And I wish I could monetize it. That's not my forte. Eventually, I probably will do something that derives an income for all the time and talent I've put into this, but it won't be through Awake Illinois. But Tom DeVore made very good money. And I find it interesting that he's criticizing somebody for monetizing, through Chicago Flips Red, through their efforts. He charged $5,000 per school district. I mean, give me a break. So I think that this is just silliness. Tom's never been a stranger for being bombastic. It's been part of his shtick. And he can be kind of a jerk. He was a jerk we needed in 2021, though. I wish there'd been more who had stepped up. I was like, where are the attorneys? But there weren't enough attorneys. He was the one to do it. And a lot of people who are new to the barricade don't know how powerful that time period was. But Awake Illinois donated web pages for people to join the lawsuit into fundraise. And I cut checks to his law firm, several checks. And after he ran for attorney general, I supported him in that. He got real cranky pants about Awake Illinois and started to become a jerk. I mean, we gave this guy an award. I cut him checks. He's a jerk. We've always known it. He made bank. He could have done all of that pro bono at the time. He didn't. So he's calling out people for monetizing. Hey, good for them if they can monetize. Good for anybody who can monetize in this time, because this is a thankless effort to be in a woke state and to fight woke, to fight tyranny. I think that the talking heads can get a little gnarly. I think there's a lot of misogyny right now in the Republican Party. You look at a lot of the grassroots movement, they're largely led by women. And so I think you see some of that kind of come out in these comments and these social media posts. Just ignore them. Politics are disgusting. They're disgusting. Most people that are seeking power in politics are disgusting. They're narcissists. They're sociopaths. They tend to not be very smart. And they want to be surrounded by people who are sycophantic. And the minute you question them, they can't handle it. I think I could name a lot of names. And when it comes to people like Tom DeVore, let it go. Ignore it. He can post whatever he wants on social media. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane as a grassroots organization. I don't care if it's Awake Illinois, Chicago Flips Red, wherever you are. If you're just a regular parent speaking at a school board meeting, if you're new to being a candidate in this state, God bless you for running. But a lot of these talking heads, I mean, just ignore them. Just ignore them. Who cares? Who cares what Tom DeVore says? Who cares? Is he trying to get in the state central committee? Who cares about the state central committee? Ugh. None of these people are targeted by the leftists. You know why? Because they're useless. They only care about power. Whatever power they feel they can get in the Republican Party, that's all they care about. So let it go. Just ignore it. But Tom DeVore made crazy money in 2021 and 2022, and he leveraged a movement and he profited from it. He wasn't running around with a nonprofit, all noble, saying, I'll do this for free. Ajay Gupta, District 41, he's running for state rep in my district, actually, against Janet Yang Rohr, woke as hell. He's a good guy. He's doing Title IX filings in federal court to protect girls in their private spaces and bathrooms and sports teams. He's doing that pro bono. He's not charging anybody. There are nominal court fees, and Awake Illinois has donated to offset those court fees. It's like $50, $100. It's nominal court fees. He's not charging $5,000 a school district. So sit down, Tom DeVore. You have no right to be criticizing people for how they monetize. You could have done it for free, but you didn't. And it was a noble thing. That fight was noble. I'll give you that credit all day long, but you're being a jerk, and I have your phone number. But you can't call me on it because I blocked you. Onward for Illinois.
And see, so you see the hypocrite. I bet you Tom DeVore wasn't homeless back then when he was doing them lawsuits. I bet you he wasn't. But he said, oh, I can make money for this.
Oh.
But he expect Leigh, homeless, me barely making it, to not get anything. Just do this, do everything we're doing. Leigh, just take our time every day. All our day and time is dedicated to helping Chicago, to opening your eyes, showing you all what's really going on, putting out videos, going protests, going to the neighborhoods, going to the city hall, going to all these meetings. That's our daily routine. Catching Ubers, going here. And this and we supposed to do this while Zoe is homeless, while we don't have no money. We supposed to do this, but he wouldn't even help people during COVID for free. He couldn't even, and he's not homeless. I'm sure he was doing very well. I'm sure he still had a nice house where he was living at around that time. He could afford to help people, but he didn't. And then you have the nerve to come and talk about us. This
No
is what I'm
nerve.
talking about. The nerve of this scumbag, because this is what this is. The nerve. And what is he running for anyway? Isn't he running for a seat?
Yeah, the Republican State Committee.
Yeah, he
And
shouldn't win
he's running.
anything.
Yeah. Look at it.
Because this is what we talking about when we say character, guys. When we look at everything, it's your character.
It's
This
the
is what we're talking
character,
about.
baby.
People like this.
People like this. The people like this. This man, you gotta get into it, y'all.
Yeah. Because we want to know how many cases. Because yeah. Was he a
Yeah.
successful lawyer? Did he win
Yeah.
those cases? Let's talk about him before he can come and talk about us and talking about what we doing and what we were doing is unlawful. Let's see what he did and what he's doing.
So
First of
this
all,
so this came out um 2023. Hold on, let me get the I charge my oh yeah, well yeah, all right. This is Illinois. The Illinois. Okay, I like the little. I think that's Abraham Lincoln with the headphones. DeVore, where we at? Admonished, sanctioned by federal judge, and this is by Patrick. I'll call you P, man. Patrick P. I don't want to mess up that last name. October 26, 2023. Tom DeVore, the Southern Illinois who made the name for himself with lawsuits challenging Governor J.B. Pritzker's COVID-19 mandates and was the 2022 failed GOP nominee for Attorney General, was admonished and sanctioned by a federal bankruptcy judge Tuesday for his actions with a former client, girlfriend, and business partner. The opinion issued by U.S. bankruptcy judge Mary Gorman in Springfield is related to a bankruptcy filing by Riley Craig, who was a client of DeVore when she attempted to reopen her Springfield hair salon amid Governor J.B. Pritzker's mandated shutdown of the business in 2020. She later became romantically involved with DeVore, and the two co-owned a hair care product startup. Craig filed bankruptcy in May when the business was failing and couldn't repay a $600,000 loan, putting her assets into an automatic stay, essentially freezing any attempts to collect debts during bankruptcy proceedings. Attorney for Craig said DeVore filed a lawsuit against her in Bond County seeking judicial dissolution of the business to dissociate DeVore from the business and an accounting of the debt of the business. 4 days later, DeVore filed an emergency motion for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction against Craig. Craig's attorney claimed the filings were illegal and violated the automatic stay and asked for sanctions against DeVore. Gorman's opinion was unkind to DeVore, claiming his actions was egregious violations of the automatic stay law. Mr. DeVore's conduct was indefensible. He filed a lawsuit just 2 days after the debtor filed bankruptcy, and despite being told by Craig's attorney that the filing violated the stay, he doubled down with an emergency motion and then his petition for an order of protection. Gorman wrote, the filing of the petition for an order of protection was particularly offensive because Mr. DeVore attempted to use a statute designed to help vulnerable people, including children, from the horrors of domestic violence to settle his business disputes with the with the debtor.
Just
He
scum.
he misrepresented that he was a victim of domestic violence when he was not, and he presented false and misleading evidence in his petition and the attached narrative. Gorman ordered DeVore to pay around $14,000 in damages, which was less than the $20,000 she asked for. She called his actions willful, and that other word, and then his conduct was highly unprofessional. DeVore did not return a message Tuesday night. Ooh, so he's trying to play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the crazy thing about that is? People play with the domestic violence court all the time. I keep seeing people, I gotta keep blocking them over here because they just being dumb. But and maybe they don't understand that I'm part of their alphabet, and I'm the L, and I date L's, and um every time the L hits me, and when I call the police or when I decide to hit the L back, I always get locked up because I'm the man of the relationship.
It's two women, but they say
Yeah,
because
like
you
I mean, I always got to call the supervisor, and sometimes the supervisor will realize it's two women play, and they'll be like, "We're gonna block y'all both up," or y'all. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so I got domestic violences for people lying and trying to exaggerate, like my man DeVore did, because he's mad because the little 25-year-old, so he was messing with a little young tender, right? She was 25. He's never, she's a hold on, let me bring her up real quick.
he probably, and you look at him, he probably never had anybody
Yeah, nothing
that's
like this.
interested in him.
Yeah, nothing. This was the first time somebody actually looked at him the way she looked at him. Understand? And I like her website. She does hair.
Mm-hmm.
I like her brand. And she wasn't going. I think when I did my research on her, she's a business owner. That situation, like I said, Pritzker shouldn't get another term just off of what he did to businesses during COVID. Regardless, if you're a business owner, if you know somebody that was affected in the businesses and all those things, no, everybody, like, y'all should not be voting him back in just because of that. But she
Mm-hmm.
was one of the people who had a salon during that time, and the
They
only
fought against it. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So what was that? So okay, so
So
what?
they got but this was they started messing around,
Okay, and it's
and he got in his feelings
uh-huh.
because he was falling in love with her. He was
Mm-hmm.
falling in love with her, and he thought he hit the jackpot. And then she realized that he's a Tom DeVore. He's
Uh-huh.
exactly what he is. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hold off on being a charming or cool or bad boy. Da, da, da. Nah, he's a middle-aged, grumpy, don't win no cases, and then
Insecure.
win a case, insecure. I understand, never amount to nothing. Lost is a loser. Is a loser, a person who also thought that, but he was the attorney general. And this is where and I'm gonna tell y'all this because maybe y'all need to understand this. You're not gonna be able to pay for the black vote. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible for y'all to pay for the black vote. So when y'all get in these positions or become the nominee, and then you guys start raising money, and then you go into the black community and get the most shiesty ass Negroes that you could find, that just because they claim that they are Republican doesn't mean that they're really about our community and they're respected in our community. So you can hand them off a bag of money because they done lied to you and finessed you out of what they can get.
Mm-hmm.
When they go back to the black community, the black community don't even respect them.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all continue to do that. Y'all continue this cycle to do that, to pay for that, and you're paying the people who are not respected in the community because they don't put in the work. You can't be at rainbow push events and then claim that you're a Republican.
Mm-hmm. You can't be around, you can't be calling out, hey, Brandon Johnson, and friends with Brandon Johnson, and going to see him, getting money from Brandon Johnson, and claim that you're a Republican. It's just, you can't do it.
You just can't do it.
And so these people, and that's why they will never, that's why they don't win anything. They're okay with losing. Then they want us to be a part of that. And we keep telling people, we're not that. We're not that. Just like President Trump wasn't with the established Republicans, he made his own lane, MAGA, Make America Great Again. He created his own lane. That's what it is, because Republicans without Donald Trump would have never won another election. Never. Donald Trump made them revive the Republican Party and made them, inclusive and made everybody want to vote for Republicans again. Donald Trump did that. And just like right now, Donald Trump going in on people because he's not going to let them mess up his name or talk stuff about him. And he's going in on Candace Owens, on Alex Jones, on Megyn Kelly, on somebody.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he's going in on them because sometimes, guys, you can let them talk, and that can only go so far before you come out and just let them have it, because you cannot keep allowing people to lie on you or create a narrative when like Trump everything you're doing is for the American people. You might not understand why I'm doing it or how I have to do it, but just know I'm the commander in chief. People, we film everything we do. We try to show you all. We try to film everything to just, let you all see what we go through, what's going on. We try to do that. And even in that, you have people like this piece of garbage that's going to still try their best to tear you down. And these are the people that's why the Republicans have never won here in Chicago and barely won in Illinois, but that one time around. That's why, because they have losers like this who represent them, who are the face of the party, and no one likes them. That's why they don't win anything. But then you bring us here, Chicago flips red, and we're not playing. We want to come for those seats. We need those seats. We need to really make a change here. So we're not playing this politics as usual. We don't even care about even being a part of the establishment on either side. We don't care, because we know what we are trying to do and what we're going to do. And people trust Chicago flips red. They may not necessarily trust the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, but you know what they say? I trust Chicago flips red. So we don't take that lightly. And we're not going to let anybody who don't care about Chicago, don't care about us, sitting in their big house, collecting millions, profiting off what they're doing, and then sit on their high horse and talk about us.
Right. All right. So this came out before we get to the ARDC complaint, because that's ridiculous.
Okay.
The Illinois record. Now, this was December 13th, 2024. And it says political abuser Tom DeVore re-enters a fragile Illinois Republican Party. After activist Val Ojeda threatened to kill a woman, is Richard Pryor's self-described partner in crime, Tom DeVore, even worse? And in class action lawsuits, plaintiffs usually do not pay out of pockets. The larger the class, the more significant the payout, incentivizing law firms to make it easy for people to join. However, the soon-to-be disciplined attorney Tom DeVore amassed a fortune by charging Illinois residents out-of-pocket fees to join politically marketed class action lawsuits.
He did what?
Unlike I told you he was an ambulance chaser, and how
So he did what now?
however, he soon to be disciplined Tom DeVore amassed a fortune by charging Illinois residents out-of-pocket fees to join politically marketed class action lawsuits.
Wow.
Unlike most
Wow.
lawyers, DeVore did not necessarily care about winning the lawsuits.
So he charged them because he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid $5,000. He made millions. That's why he's stressed right now. Defaulted on a $600,000 loan. Lost his 25-year-old young tender. Got a domestic violence case out here. Got sanctions. And trying to run for committee.
See, and that's why I understand. I see why Trump separated himself. I see why Trump. I created Mac. I see it clear as day.
My man is stressed.
Because no one will allow this piece of garbage to represent them or to be the face of whatever they're trying to accomplish. Nothing. And I see why. I see why you had to make sure that you don't align yourself with people like this. I see why. See why clear as day.
Clear as day, right?
Yeah, I see why. I really see why Trump. His first term, why Republicans hated him. Remember his first, and they hated him. The establishment hated him, and I'm like, dang, he Republican. Why they hate him and things? And Trump, when he went in on them, remember his first Trump term, he went in on the Republicans. He stayed at them, but I understand why. Understand why,
right? All right. Because all kinfolk ain't all folk ain't kinfolk?
Yeah.
Okay. DeVore publicly stated that if they think any of this is going on is about winning or losing lawsuits, the people that they need to consider if they're intelligent as they think they are. DeVore continued, this isn't about winning lawsuits.
Wow.
Underburdened by the pressures.
What? No, when I pay you my money, I want to win this lawsuit. It's exactly about winning. You're so used to being a loser your whole life and losing at everything until you're okay with losing. But some people, when they pay their money to you, they want to win.
Yes, that's the problem. That's why you are stressed. You're a sore loser.
That's why you lost to Kwame Raoul, who was just terrible.
Yeah, I mean terrible. I mean, we can't even find him.
Yeah, but you
would be just like him, though.
Yes,
you would be just like him.
Yeah.
So,
what you finish reading?
Unburdened by the pressure of winning lawsuits, DeVore made millions. DeVore builds his class action lawsuits around hot button political issues that many, including this publication, care about, such as COVID mandates or gun bans. Less than 1/3 of Americans are lawyers, so it's easy to understand why someone would spend a couple of $100s to join a class action lawsuit they believe will make a difference. While $200 may seem small for some. If you have over 7,000 clients, that would
Mm,
be $1.4 million. How much
mm.
does it cost? The current cost is set at a flat rate of $200.
Wow. Wow.
Some typical.
And you don't lose. So the $200, hey, we're just doing this because we might win this. We might,
We
right?
might.
We might, but I'm not going to really try I know it's probably it's a losing cause, but give me the $200 because that's, if I put out $200 and like they said, I get about 700 people or 700,000, whatever it might be. Look, I made millions and I don't even have to win because, hey, I tried.
I tried.
It wasn't a guarantee.
I tried.
Shiesty. This is why
This is corruption.
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 Shiesty. This is everything.
This is corruption right
This
here.
is terrible.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you have the nerve to come to us about an LLC. And
the
because,
nerve. It
yeah.
comes to us by LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Some typical costs to join a Tom DeVore politically marketed class action lawsuit. However, lawyers and eventually local media would spotlight DeVore's lawsuits as poorly executed and often thrown out. Trash!
Right. Yeah,
Trash!
because he was just doing it to make money. He wouldn't win those lawsuits, or neither did he probably try. I'm gonna go with he didn't try. That's my opinion. Because
Tom
he did.
DeVore loses another court case, refuses to pay bounty, says he's not filing lawsuits to win. These were headlines.
Mm.
Tom DeVore told the media that his goal is to protect people, but one has to wonder if making millions trump the needs of his clients.
Yep.
He is DeVore Law Office LLC.
Okay.
So get your DeVore Law Office. Look at my man. Does he look like you would hire him as an attorney?
No.
I would never hire him. We're going to lose.
Yeah.
My mother said you always can tell if a lawyer going to lose depending on their shoes and their outfit.
But you can look at him. Look.
Yeah.
And look at the cases. They said
There's
so.
no way.
And then him coming out saying, hey, what do you expect me to do?
It gives Democrat. It does.
Yes.
It gives Democrat. It gives Democrat.
It's what do you expect me to do? Win the case? That's what you're expecting. You already paid $200. You're expecting to win.
Exactly.
This is why you sitting there on millions. This is right here. This is the person who wanted to try to destroy everything Chicago Clips Red is doing for the citizens and the people of Chicago. This person right here is the one. After everything he have done, shiesty, and haven't did anything for the people, and this person right here decided to say, "Yup, I'm gonna go after Chicago Flips Red." With everything, look at this. Everything, look at the background. Look at who this person is. This should have been the last person. Last person.
The last person.
And so you said he haven't won any cases. Like, okay, he haven't, right?
No.
Okay.
One plaintiff that DeVore claimed to be protecting was a married 25-year-old mother who became successful enough to start her own beauty salon after years in the hair care industry. During the COVID pandemic, the salon owner paid DeVore $350 to help draft letters to send to government officials to keep her salon open. Tom DeVore helped the young business owner with other legal matters and included her in one of the most famous. Sorry.
It's laughable. It's laughable, but you can continue. So this is laughable.
He said, "Oh man, I'm so mad that I'm laughing like this because who wrote this article I cannot stand. Oh,
I'm
this is
glad they did. I'm glad they wrote this article. I'm so glad because they captured the essence of who this person is. They captured the
oh
essence
my
of this
God.
person.
This was so good. Tom
Mhm.
DeVore helped the young business owner with other legal matters and included her
Also,
in one of the most famous unsuccessful
the famous unsuccessful.
lawsuits against making Sangamon County. Oh my God. Famous unsuccessful lawsuit is a shirt. Oh my God. DeVore was over 50 when he engaged in a romantic relationship.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. He is so a loser, man. DeVore was over 50 when he engaged in a romantic relationship with a 25-year-old business owner. The fact that the relationship started after she became a client went against American Bar Association standards. This nigga don't even know because he didn't take their bar. You know they say Daly didn't take his bar.
Yeah,
These niggas don't be. These people don't be passing the bar.
they can't be
These
because
people don't know
you
nothing about
lose
no bar.
you lose everything, all the cases and things like that. You can't take. I don't understand it. And they say people be taking the bar for them. They don't take the bar. This is what that's out there. So
That's out there.
yeah, it's out there that half of these people who have their law license don't pass the exam, and they be having people to take it for them or something, paying for it. So hey,
Amazon Prime dropping it off.
yeah, I was
Ain't
out.
no
So
way.
hey,
Ain't no way y'all got law degrees. And
yes,
you knew you're over 50 as a middle-aged man,
look at them. Look at the picture. Uh-huh.
a middle-aged stressed out man
Mm-hmm.
from downstate, Sorrento to be exact, engaged in a romantic relationship with a 25-year-old business owner. The fact that the relationship started after she became a client went against American Bar Association standards. You didn't know that?
Mm-hmm.
But you got the nerve to talk about our LLC?
Mm-hmm. And talk about it's not up to code, or we are doing, when it got up to 20,000 or something, that's when it start being not legal or something. You have the nerve
The nerve,
to
right?
talk about us when you went right. Finish, and then
Further complicating lawyer ethics, Tom DeVore would enter into a business agreement with the now 26-year-old salon owner. Shame, shame.
shame, shame, shame on you.
The young mother aspired to expand nationally into her hair care products and invested thousands into promotion. Oh man, not with Tommy. Tommy DeVore complained the brand was foo-foo, but still expressed interest in taking half of the company's equity in exchange for helping with the finances. In violation of Illinois lawyer standards, Tom DeVore did not tell his young business partner, girlfriend, and clients to seek independent counsel to review the business agreement he drafted. Well, of course,
He didn't
because he
know.
couldn't have took that bar.
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know, guys. He didn't know. He didn't know himself.
He didn't
Mhm.
know.
Either you did know and you just let's just go the scenarios. This even worse. Either you did know and you can't control yourself enough to say no, so you were willing to throw out everything, risk it all. You were
Risk it
willing to
all.
risk it all because if you went to law school, if you did it the right way, that means you came out with thousands of dollars to get this to go to law school to get that
Law school is
license.
expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive. So that means you spent really good money, and I'm sure you still maybe owe for the law schools and things like that. So either you risk all of that and said, you know what, I don't care about none of this. All this money I spent, all this law license, unethical. I know what I'm doing is unethical and everything. I'm going to risk it all. So you had no self-control. Either that was the case, or you didn't even know that those laws existed. You didn't even know. So either way, you're incompetent.
Incompetent.
Either way, like Trump just said, low IQ. Either
Low
way,
IQ. Super low IQ.
either
Like
way, either way.
retarded.
Yeah, either
Retarded.
way. Either way, they just as bad.
He definitely was retarded jumping
Yeah,
on my page. I
yeah.
know. Yeah, for real.
Okay.
When they were at the bank to sign the agreement, she, the young salon owner, asked if it could be read to her, and Mr. DeVore responded by swearing at her, telling her to shut up, and directed her to sign the agreement. She said that she was mortified and embarrassed by Mr. DeVore's treatment of her, and she went ahead and signed the agreement without reading it. She said that she trusted Mr. DeVore because he was a lawyer.
Mm,
Tom
mm.
Devore did not have to invest his money to earn half of the equity in the hair care business, but he promised to help get a bank loan. In August 2021, Devore helped secure a $250,000 business loan from Bradford Bank, which grew to $601,000, $829 with a maturity date of June 2023. What?
This is gone. It's gone.
$250,000 business though, and it grew to $601,000.
Mm-hmm.
During this period, Tom DeVore began his campaign for Attorney General. Okay,
Mm.
well,
There we go.
there you go.
There we
And
go.
Bradford was the bank for his campaign committee. Okay, well.
Mm-hmm. That explains
Statewide
it.
races provide millions of dollars in earned media opportunities, increased attention from the public. While many candidates was the increased intention of statewide race to highlight issues of share their vision, DeVore had used his platform to promote his high flat fee class action lawsuits and hair care products, a clear misuse of his political influence for personal gain. Tom DeVore often told his political fans to support his girlfriend's hair care company. My girlfriend started a hair care line, which is going to be some very high quality products. All of you ladies should follow her company on
Mm.
Instagram, and she's going to be getting things ramped up for the next couple of months. She's very excited, and I'm very proud of her hard work. Future You Babe. Also go to www.futureyou.co and provide her information for upcoming launches, giveaways, and sample send-outs. Please tell all your friends she's been working very hard.
Mm.
They had a launch party. And then he put Eat Your Heart Out, boys. It's February 8th, 2022. That's my mother's birthday. Eat your heart out, boys. I got to spend the evening talking with these three lovely ladies, influencers, and models who attended my girlfriend's hair product line, Shadeen. I guess an influencer is a real thing. I guess it is. That's why you in our pockets.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm.
So yes. So they did all this, and then in August 2022, DeVore will loan his campaign $250,000. DeVore's donation was controversial as it triggered a campaign finance law lifting caps on donations and giving Democrats access to mega donors who could tap into their significant money connections. Fortunately for DeVore, he quickly gave himself $240,000 from the campaign out of the perceived $278,501 he put into his losing attorney general campaign. And after a night partying, trying to get to where he had, that's when thing, okay, right here. After a night of partying with Gary for the governor's campaign, according to police footage, the young mother was understandably perturbed at DeVore drinking alcohol around teenagers. In the police body footage, the young business owner recalls DeVore's closeness to his 17-year-old staffer spurred a fight. The young mother admitted to tossing her cell phone in frustration. Unbeknownst to her, DeVore called the police on his much smaller business partner and girlfriend, perhaps to demonstrate his power. DeVore allegedly threw the young mother's cell phone out of a car window, breaking a $1,000 phone. Okay, this is some. The police on the scene would ultimately side with the young mother, establishing that she had a place to stay away order from DeVore. The police then escorted the 27-year-old out to retrieve her items from DeVore's hotel room. DeVore was in his stripped underwear and a shirt that read Grifter Nation. He obliged the officer's requests. Although the young mother was able to leave the relationship, DeVore still had a favorable business contract, which gave him vital tool to exert financial and emotional pressure on his business relationship with his ex-girlfriend. DeVore was garnered a large following on social media during his attorney general race, used his platforms to take subtle digs of his now ex-girlfriend. So he started calling her everything that he is, a narcissist.
Yeah, he started calling her, and it looked like he was
then
violent a little
he was
bit.
sick right here. This was when he said he was going to the he couldn't eat. He couldn't eat. He was depressed. He couldn't eat
he
and
was
sleep.
depressed.
He lost his young tender.
Yeah, and he threw her phone away, so that means he was getting violent. That's some rage right
Yeah.
there. So, and they say they found it to be true. So yeah, this person is unstable. This is an unstable person.
Very unstable. Super unstable. Now, the last thing, and then we're going to end, is this ARDC report. This is why, he got it back, but the fact that he crashed out. He crashed out for Shorty.
Broke all the rules. Broke all the rules that he knew, or he didn't because he don't know the law, or he did. Broke all the rules that went against him as being in his attorney.
Right.
All the rules.
Broke all the rules. So, this is 38 pages. We're not going to read all 38 pages, but we will put this link in so you guys can, but we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down to you real quick. The fact that he got his law license suspended for this as well, and
it's crazy.
It's definitely crazy, but I think what's crazier to me is the fact that he came on our page and kept talking about shakedown.
Shakedown.
Yeah, I
when
mean,
he made millions, his whole career, or what they were saying, the article said, you knew you was gonna lose these cases. You knew you didn't have a chance because you was a loser, and you would take $200, charge people $200 for a class action lawsuit that you knew you wasn't going to win or had or couldn't win, but you knew that, and the only thing was you were trying to get rich, you was enriching yourself, and told them, had the nerve to tell them, what do you expect me to do? Win?
Right. Win.
That's insane in itself. So this is who wants to be elected. Is that on the 15th or when?
Yeah,
Is
on
his
the
election
15th.
on the 15th? The 15th of this month. He wants people to vote for this right here.
Right.
That's
So, and
why
this
we
here,
can.
this here, which is insane. So, Illinois attorney, him, Illinois attorney registration and disciplinary commission, which is the ARDC, brought a disciplinary case against him for misconduct involving a client he was also dating. The hearing board reviewed multiple allegations and concluded he violated several professional conduct rules, but he was not found guilty of every charge. He received a recommended 60-day suspension. As you know, he began a romantic and sexual relationship with a current client. The client relationship had not fully ended when the relationship started. The client relationship that violates ethic rules, conflict of interest, and sexual relationship with a current client. Even consensual relationships, automatic ethical violation if the person is still your client. He didn't properly the business deal with the client. He didn't properly protect the client when creating a company together, structuring ownership 50-50 LLC, taking out a $600,000 in loans together. What he failed to do was no written disclosure of conflict protections, no written advice for her to get independent counsel, no informed written consent. He acted like a business partner and lawyer at the same time without safeguards. After the relationship broke down, he filed lawsuits against her because he was mad. He filed an emergency motion against her because he was mad. He filed an order of protection case because he was mad. But she had already filed bankruptcy, and that triggered an automatic legal stay. He violated the bankruptcy automatic stay, but he wouldn't know that because he's really not an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
His transfer case was basically invalid, void. He sent emails to a creditor calling her things like ignorant and petulant child. The board ruled that the email had no legitimate legal purpose. It was meant to embarrass and insult, another violation. Improper direct contact with represented party. He emailed her directly, even though she had a bankruptcy attorney. Violation. Conduct prejudicial to justice because of everything combined: lawsuits, sanction hearings, judge's 41-page ruling. The board found he caused unnecessary court work. That counts as harm to the justice system, violation. What he was not found guilty was fully proven to have intentionally disobeyed the bankruptcy court, acted without any lawful purpose in all filings, so the board split the baby. Misconduct, but not everything alleged. He got a 60-day suspension, and basically deemed as unethical. Now he got his law license back now, but you would be a fool to hire him.
Right. A fool too. And
You would be a fool, absolutely slow to hire
yeah.
him.
And how are you going to come after us for wording that's not that you say, or how we did things that's not correct? And we are not a lawyer. We're just doing, figuring it out. You're going to come after us about wording and how we did things. And you were a lawyer and you couldn't even get it right. You're a lawyer and everything you did was wrong. And how are you going to say anything to us?
He just got blocked. I just blocked him.
Who,
You'll never.
Tom?
Yeah, because he gonna come in here and try to talk. No, it's okay.
No,
Let
no.
me
Oh,
tell
I
you.
know. Don't come over. Oh, don't come over
No,
here.
no, no, no. It's done now. Have a good one. We wish you the best, and that's just what it is. I'll
Yeah,
let you know this right now. Tom DeVore, I will never get behind anybody that's with Tom DeVore. Just
never.
letting you know that. I don't. He's corrupt. He's not a good
Person.
attorney.
Yeah, not a.
He's not a good person. He's incompetent. He's a hater. He might be racist. You know, I don't
Mhm.
know. It gives, that's he come from a small town. I come from a small town. I know what racist is. And he's a puppet. He's a puppet to some people that are pulling his strings, and he got the right one. You
Yeah.
understand? He's sick. I hope that he gets the help that he needs, which he probably will never get the help that he needs. Uh,
We see
but
how he treat women. You
yeah,
saw how he treat
yeah.
women.
See how he treats women.
You see how he treats women. You see how he comes after
You see
people who
how look
don't.
at this suit he got on.
Yeah.
He looked like he's gonna lose.
Yeah, and people who don't bother him, we never said anything to this man. So for
Right.
him to come and attack us, so that lets you know his character. And right now, at this point, I don't really care who don't like it. Seriously, I don't
Right.
care. Because at this point, if you're mad at Chicago Flips Red, because we're not just putting our name behind anybody, then I don't care. Get over it. Leave us alone. Unfriend us. If it unfriend me right now,
Yeah, please. I
unfriend
don't want to
me.
be associated. We don't want to be
Yeah,
associated with anybody that's
block
for
me.
him.
Unfriend me, block me, do everything you need to because I want to get it out the way right now. I want to get everybody who's around me, who's on my page, who's anybody who wanna, just lurking, get from away from me right now. The things that we have to do in Chicago and hopefully Illinois is so serious right now. We can't afford none of distraction. So if you are one of those
Please.
people, get off, unblock yourself, unfollow. Please do it right now because
Yeah.
the business we have to do in Chicago is so important right now. I don't want none of that negative energy. I don't want none of that garbage here. If you feel like that it's okay to attack Chicago Flips Red, to attack us, and you are never walking our shoes. You are never come into the places that we go to. Come to Maria Hatton. Why didn't none of you come to Maria Hatton protest that we were at? You didn't come show up because it was hostile. You were in the lion's den. Why you ain't go to CTU? It's hostile. None of you would come to the places that we are going to. None of you are going to the wars that we are going to. None of you. None of you are going into the communities that's crime ridden that we live in. None of you would dare come here. And you want to try stop what we're doing that's helping our community and speaking up for the people and giving the citizens of Chicago back their city and back their voice. And you're going to have a piece of garbage like this who lives somewhere else and going to try to attack what we're doing. Y'all better, seriously, you got the right ones. You think that's a bad boy. That ain't no bad boy. You ain't
Is
seen
a
a bad boy.
bum. That's a small town boy bum that never ever amounted to nothing.
That's a
Amounted to
loser. That's a
nothing.
hater.
Yeah,
And
that's a
like you said,
hater.
he
Yes,
may
you
be
a
a little racist.
loser. Look at you. Look at you, man. Riley knew what to do. Riley knew to get away from that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And
Ugh.
then you think we just gonna
Ugh.
get behind anybody with a R behind their name? Not happening at
Yeah,
all.
never.
And
Yeah.
if we're gonna tell you right now, if you're trying to do something in Chicago, listen, for anybody who's listening, if you want to make a difference in Chicago, if you're running for something and you need the Chicago residents to vote for you or get out to know who you are, you're going to have to spend some money here. You're going to have to get town halls. You're going to have to get literature. You're going to have to rent spaces. You're going to have to spend money here. That's why Brandon Johnson and Tony Pregwood, that's why they're stealing all this money right now, because they're getting ready for their campaigns. That's why they're giving all of these people money, like Christian said, these grassroots places, facilities, nonprofit organizations. They're funding them right now. These fake churches who's going to lie to their people to get them to vote Democrat. They're funding them right now, stealing big money of your tax dollars to fund that. They're doing it right now. So
Right
if you
now.
think you're going to be a Republican and you come into Chicago and you think you don't got to spend no money in Chicago to win, I don't know what to say. That's why y'all never won before. That's why.
And if
That's
you
why.
think that you're going to win with no commercials, you're not. So if you ain't got no money for no commercials,
Or two.
yeah, because my thing is, you don't need a lot of commercials.
Yup.
But you need a few commercials. And you can do commercials all over the place. Y'all don't even know how to market. Y'all don't know how to do none of that stuff. And that's what y'all mad at. Y'all mad at that. Let me tell you something. My mother went to college for marketing and finance, business. My mother was one of the first Black women in Chicago from affirmative action to work at Xerox. That speaks volumes. My mother has always taught me business ever since I was a child. And she always brings out and always talks about advertisement. It's going to take money to make money, and you need to advertise. And that's just what it is. Y'all do not know how to do any of that. And
And then
that's
you
why
want,
y'all gonna forever lose. And then you're gonna get like Christian said earlier, then you're gonna try to put the pressure on us. And where were
no.
y'all at? Y'all have not been to anything. No press conferences. Y'all haven't been to no protests. Y'all haven't. Aaron Delmar reneged on everything he said he was gonna do for me. So get that. So and I'm not gonna go to him. Go to him and ask him, because there's always three sides to a story. So go to him and ask him why he messed this, why he reneged on everything that we had to do when it came to stability. He offered his home and took it back. But you just want to win, knowing that I'm out here unhoused, but I'm out here still maintaining my mental health, still maintaining the mission, because the mission is to save Chicago and to save these kids and save these business owners and save our seniors and save the culture in this city that can get this city out of debt.
That's where Chicago feels originated from. And saving Chicago and flipping Chicago will in turn save Illinois. That's, everybody knows that. And for anybody to try to stop the work or negate the work that we are doing is full-blown just crazy. It's crazy, because why would you do that? Why would you do that? If I had somebody doing the work that I know I don't want to do, ain't no way I want to be in the streets. I'm not getting ready to go protest in front of nobody's office. I'm not going to go in those communities. I know I won't do it. But I see people who's doing it. And we need them to do it, because we need them to get in those communities and educate the people. Why would if I really wanted change, guys, if I really wanted to make a difference and really wanted to help everybody, why would I do that? You got to ask yourself, why would a person, like Christian said, ask yourself, why would he do that? Why would anybody do that? Either you really want to keep seeing us like this. You really want to keep seeing us like we live in the way we live in, and Chicago being the way it is. Either you want to see that, or you hate the people that's making the change. You hate to see the people that's making a change, which makes you racist. You hate to see the people that's the ones doing the change. Whatever it is, we don't care. That's a personal reason. That's a personal problem with this man. It don't have nothing to do with us, because we're going to keep going, like Christian said. Guys, the conservative party is you. It's us. It's us. It's not them. It's not him. It's not the establishment. We are the conservative party, the people on the streets, the everyday citizens, the everyday taxpaying citizens, the people who know this is not right, the people who love their city and state. It's us. That's it. I keep telling you, Chicago Flips Red, we're doing this because we're giving the city back to its rightful owners. We the people that they forgot about, the people they thought they can just do what they want to do with and not listen to. We're giving the city back to its rightful owners, and that's you.
Right from
Yo, boys, you have a say so. You spend your tax dollars here. Your tax dollars built this city, this beautiful city. Your
right.
tax dollars.
And my thing is, y'all can back this man all you want. Just know that we're not. And you're
And
not
leave
going
us
to force
alone.
us. You're not going to bully us. If you get on our page and if I see it or anything like that, yeah, I'm blocking you. Yeah, we're blocking you. You're not going to talk
Yeah.
that stuff on his page. We don't never go out. We be on the mission. Y'all keep coming in our lanes. Y'all keep coming in our lanes. But I want to give y'all this before we end. Let's see. So, does everybody want to talk crazy? This is our pack.
We were getting help. Some people were trying to help us with it. So
Yes, we have, again, we shout out to our engineer who's doing this for free. You know how many invoices I got? He's giving me the invoices. I got a lot of IOUs. Shout out to our engineer who's put all our stuff together for us.
So we got our pack. We have our pack, guys.
This is our pack. Now
And
we gotta
this,
take this off because we haven't done this yet.
we got that. And this is people who God
But
is
that
laid
is
on their
something
heart.
that this is we're gonna speak this in the code. But I gotta tell my man he gotta change that. But yes,
Yeah, this is people that God laid it on their heart to help us. And they done it. Thank you. Listen, guys, whenever you are on the road that God has given you to giving you, if you stay on that road, when God give you a mission, and if you stay on that road that God gave you, all the things on that road is going to be provided. If you just stay on that road, it's up to him to make the provisions on that road. But the only thing you have to do is be obedient and stay on that road. And that's what he's doing. He's providing everything for us as long as we stay on this road. So we can't see it. It may not show up in the bank accounts. It may not show up, when we look at it and we don't have the money for Uber, whatever. It may not show that day, but he always provides. Every day he give us our daily bread. He always make a way. Don't he, Zoe? Always.
right.
Whether it's favor, whether people say, hey, you know what? You can do this. Y'all can just stay here, or y'all can do this. No charge. It's favor he give us every day, or whether it's, somebody might say, somebody might say, just donate. He's providing, making provisions every single day. And I thank him for that. I thank him for everybody who sacrificed, everybody who's doing this, like doing work for us and not getting paid, just sacrificing time and their expertise. I want to thank them for doing that and believing in us, because we may not be perfect, but we are not going to do something that we know in our heart is right. We're not going to get behind anyone that we know in our heart is not right, or we don't feel like it's right, or we don't, that we unknowingly know that they are terrible. We're not going to do it.
Not gonna do it. Look at that. Come on,
We got our
man.
pack. Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
Right. He was figuring out the way.
Figuring it out. And if
Figuring
we
out
got,
the way. We
if
knew
we,
what
if we
we
have
was trying
something
to figure
wrong,
out.
if we have something wrong on there or the website, if you
Yeah.
all who know this, please say, hey, shoot us an email and say, hey, you know what, guys, this right here, you may want to change that or may do this. We're open to all the help that we can get.
All the help we can get. Come on, man. That's how you do it. And look,
Yeah.
you go to her you can go to Christian Maxwell website from us.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're trying to make a difference here, guys. We really won't change.
She got a nice website. Now, this is a website. Y'all need
Yes.
this, the colors.
Yes. That's
Yeah, this
nice.
is clean. It's slick. I like this. Okay, Christian.
Let me see. Go back. Go. Let me see her picture. Go up.
So
Yeah. Let me see how is yeah. Really. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yes, I like that. Real simple to the point. Yeah.
Christian Maxwell is a conservative businesswoman. Y'all need to understand we are in that time. My mother was there way before her time. I say that all the time. My mother was a conservative businesswoman. She just didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
But she has raised a conservative businesswoman. And I am going to lead with that. And I'm going to make sure that our message will be here for a long time.
And
You know, one
Christian,
of the things before I blocked Tom DeVore, he said that by next year, give it a year or two, no one's gonna know who we are.
see, that's hate for real. That's hate. You see that, guys? Why would a person have that much hate in their heart for us? For real, like for real. Why would a person say by next year, won't nobody know who we are? Now, we're in Chicago. We're fighting in Chicago. Chicagoans. Do any of you all know Thomas DeVore? Have you heard of him? In Chicago, in your communities, have you heard of Thomas DeVore? Why would
Yes.
that man that you in Chicago never heard of tell Chicago Plus Red that's fighting for you in Chicago? Why would he tell you that in a year from now people won't even know who you are? Why would he do that? Ask yourself, why would this man do that? Who never came in Chicago, who don't care about Chicago?
At all.
Why would he want the very people that's representing you in Chicago to never be heard of again? That's what you got to start questioning and asking yourself. Why would you even want that? Leave Chicago alone. If that's the case, just leave them alone.
All right.
But you can't, because why? Why? What's in your heart that have that much hate for Chicago Clips Red? That's what
Riley.
you have to ask
Riley
yourself.
Craig. What up, Riley? What
So
up, Riley?
when you start asking these questions, and I keep telling y'all, we're not playing with anybody. Nobody. Look at Christian Maxwell. Like she said, she's the runner up. She's the, everybody she's known. She have a chance to win this GOP seat, and none of them helped her. Nobody is helping her. Nobody is saying, hey, you know what? She's trying to get an office space just for her campaign so she can get moving along. Nobody helps her. The GOP, like she said, they haven't gave her the money. Nobody is helping her. But these are the people, they don't want to help you while he made millions. He's probably still a millionaire. He made millions off gripping people.
I don't know. He's stressed out. I don't think he's a
Oh,
millionaire.
well, I don't
think
know
they
what
thought
he
they
is.
was, yeah.
But
They was about to jump on our backs, climb our backs to get them these seats.
Yeah, while you are still homeless,
While I'm still
and me
homeless.
just out here, and we're gonna do all the work. We're gonna do all the door knocking. So, in other words, we're going to stop what we're doing because what we're doing it, and we're in Chicago, we're in the streets, and God is providing for us daily. So we're going to stop on the mission God got us on to do what they need us to do, and still just try to broke and not don't even know where the money coming from. We're going to do it and while they're just going home, living back, saying, yeah, we ain't have to do nothing. Just let them do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Collect all the money, and we're struggling broke, and we're out here doing the work for them to get them in office. What sense does that make? I don't know what y'all thought this was, but no. So if we have to concentrate on Chicago right now, then that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna concentrate on Chicago, and that's what God gave us to do anyway. So yeah. And if we're gonna be broke, and if Zoe gonna be homeless, guess what? We're gonna be homeless and broke together, and we're gonna do the mission that God gave us to do in Chicago.
You know, before we leave, I want to see how bad did he lose by from Kwame Raoul.
Yeah, and he's gonna keep losing. He's gonna keep losing because look at this. Even though Kwame Raoul is very bad, you got somebody like this.
Yeah. I mean, that stance alone.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let's see.
It's about in 2 years. I mean, a year. Won't nobody know Tom? Don't nobody know you. Don't nobody know you, Tom. Don't nobody know you. And when they do know you, it's all for the wrong reasons.
It was. He lost. He got Kwame got 2,219,420 votes, and Tom got 1,774,468 thousand votes.
That's probably what he's mad at.
Yeah, that's what he's mad at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what he's mad at. So
that Kwame Road, yeah. So don't nobody care, Tom. We don't care, and we keep telling you all. Keep telling you we don't care. We're not waiting for anybody. If don't nobody come and help, nobody. If nobody come and help us, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done
because we've been getting it done without none of you all. Only our supporters. That's who been getting it done. Help us getting it done, not you. Not none of y'all. We've been doing it all on our own, except for the support of the people, the real people who believe in us. So if nobody come, we made it where you all even have a chance here. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for telling everybody. A lot of people understand. And my thing is, we're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay as well. But we don't bother nobody. We're in our own lane. The only people we bother are the elected officials.
Mm-hmm.
We bother the elected officials, and we bother the elected officials who are absolutely destroying our country.
Yeah.
In our country, our communities, our states, our schools, our businesses, our food, our housing, they literally so I don't understand why nobody can afford to try to critique or try to pull up my past. I know I got mugshots out. I go down to City Hall and tell y'all I used to be the biggest thief. I told you I'm one of the biggest savages. I told you I'm an open book. This is the first thing. I'm an open book. I was young. Of course. I was a troubled child, right, Mom? A troubled child. Yeah.
But you had to, what I noticed that God do, he used everything from our past and what we go through to make us who we are today. And you think back, everything you went through, it was preparing you for this. That's what it was. The good, the bad, because he said he used all of it for his glory. So that's what it is. Everything that you did, it made you to the person you are today. You had to go through all of those things because now when you going through those things, you can identify with everything.
And who got to pay? I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out for y'all.
Yeah, that's what I
Who a
keep
person?
saying.
Only a person who has always been against the systems of any systems, and let it be at home, let it be always questioning stuff. I'm out here changing. I turned all that around and putting it on what everybody needs to be doing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I have the right to do it because I'm catching them in all of everything that if I would have did any of this, they would have locked me up. Any of
Mm-hmm.
these things that would have locked up. I've done my time. I've done my time and been fine with it. Y'all going around and circling. Y'all can circulate all of my mug shots. I don't care. I date women. I
Mm-hmm.
date women. You go to domestic violence. Da, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like y'all, honestly, I'm, my rap sheet is nothing compared to what you're doing to our kids, what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing to our country, what you're doing to our business, what you're doing to our homes, what you're doing to our seniors. Like, what are you talking with healthcare, all of that stuff? Y'all are demonic. Y'all
Very
are
bad.
greedy. Y'all are like, come on, man. People, you got people out here scamming and trying to do whatever to survive while y'all out here using our tax dollar for y'all lifestyles, taking everything off every community resource that's supposed to be in our communities, taking it all out. Like, man, are y'all crazy? It's like, please bring up everything. Bring it all up. I don't care.
I really don't
I
care.
do not care.
I just be
Bring it
like,
all up.
you know what I say? Everybody, like I used to go live on Facebook, and tell my testimony. So it's all the time. So people knew, that's why a lot of people really wanted to come to me because they understood that I went through some things, a lot of things that they feel they was feeling and things like that, bad marriage, drinking, not feeling like you were good enough, low self-esteem, all of that. Been through all of that. And I would just want to give up, want to kill myself, all of that. So I shared all of that. Been, a couple of times. One person said, Danny, I think you need to tell your story again. I think you need to tell your testimony again because people right now don't know who don't know you. And you need to tell it again because you have a bunch of new people following you. And so she told me that. And like I said, everything, when I think about everything that we went through, I went through, you went through, just sharing, just knowing you, everything that we did, it only prepared us so for this. It prepared us for this moment. Because a lot of people couldn't know just anybody do this what we're doing. They couldn't. This person right here couldn't do it. So everything that we went through was preparing us and molding us to what we are today to fight this what we're fighting. So I see why God did what he did and how he did it. God is so strategic and so great. Whatever the devil meant for evil, he always put it around for our good. So, the devil tried to destroy us, you, me. He wanted to kill us before we got to this point, but he didn't. Everything we accomplished and what we were is not who we are now. So that's why these people can't mess with us. That's why it don't matter to us because we out here with everything on the line. We have nothing to lose. We are not afraid of anything. We're vulnerable. We're showing everything. We put it all out there.
Right. You
You see
got
what I'm
to.
saying? We put it all out there because we're just like everybody else. That people who just
Yeah.
said enough is enough. Enough is enough. That's it.
I
And that's what.
literally, all I did was not go. Like,
Mhm.
they weren't going to tell me none of like what, like, there's nothing that y'all could do. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like would you mean you can knock down you can knock down somebody's building and don't pay them? No, it's a whole Constitution, the Fifth Amendment. What are you talking about? What do you mean that you could take somebody's vouchers and stuff because retaliation? Like, nah, I'm not going. So
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen? Because y'all the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all the politicians. So I gotta sue the government, but y'all gonna continue to play and keep paying our tax dollar to pay the judges off of our tax dollars, and y'all breaking y'all law?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And they going, and you got
It
this
ain't gonna
person right
happen.
here, and you got this person right here. Instead of this felling lawyer, instead of saying, "Hey, you know what, City Hall, he's supposed to be on our side, mind you. He's supposed to be on our side." And so he's saying, "Hey, I see how City Hall violated Zoe constitutional right, Danny constitutional right. They're violating the Open Meetings Act. They're doing retaliation. I see all of this." Instead of him saying, "You know what? I see what they're doing. I appreciate what they're doing. I admire what they're doing. Let me go help them because I can maybe help them and draw up lawsuits against the city and things like that." You went against Pritzker, even though you lost, you still did it. Instead of
Right.
you saying, "Hey, maybe let me help them." Instead of this person saying that, let me go help them. This person said, "I'm gonna make sure don't nobody know who you are in a year or so."
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? Y'all see it?
A
See
U.S.
it?
Don't forget a constitutional
A
lawyer.
so all our constitutional rights are being violated down there at City Hall. Now you're supposed to not be a part of the Democratic Party. You supposed to go against the Democratic Party. You're against them, you fight them, all of that. So you see that happening to us. And we're conservatives, we're Republicans. But instead of you saying, "Let me go help them, give them some legal advice, let me do anything," the thing you do is attack us. We don't know who this, we never talked to this person, never spoke to this
Right.
person, nothing. So you would rather come and attack us and say, "I want to make sure don't nobody know who you are," instead of helping. What does that tell y'all, guys? I don't know if that's hate. Seriously, if that's hate in your hearts, that's racism. I don't know what that is, because for you to go from that to "I don't want to help" to that, it's something in your heart that's not right. Because I don't care about what people are doing. It is, if I don't have no hatred towards them, it's something there. Jealousy. It's something there, guys. And
Right.
that's what we keep telling you. When y'all see us and we stay in our lane and you don't see us bagging nobody or talking about things, we know it. When I say we're looking at people's character, we're looking at their integrity, we're looking at all of that. We're looking at that. And when we don't see that,
Move around.
we move around. That's it. We don't care
Especially
on either
when you
side.
do not keep your word.
Yeah, on either
Yeah.
side. Yeah,
On my side too.
yeah.
Like I said, again, three sides to a story.
And we haven't even put the whole side
Yeah, we
of
didn't put the whole
all the
sides
story out,
out,
because
but
we're talking about him. So
right.
we're not trying to include anybody else in until they
No.
want to come for us. And then we'll put everything out until they come for us. But other than that, we're trying to focus on this man right here, who decided that that's what he wanted to do, attack us and talk about an LLC and all that. And we said the things wrong, and we put it in wrong and things like that. And the way we worded it is wrong. And because we got more than $22,000 now, it goes into where we're illegal or going against what what is supposed to be done. Okay, well, if that's the case, then tell us. Okay, well, since y'all
Well,
did,
he's not a real lawyer, because if he
yeah,
was a real lawyer,
if
he would
he's a real
understand the
lawyer,
difference between the Chicago. He could have looked it up. This is why he's stupid, right?
right,
He saw that we had a pack. Everybody knew that we gotta have that pack.
right,
Everybody knows that we have a PAC, but we didn't have the website up and stuff right. So they're
Yeah.
thinking that the Chicago Flips Red website, the LLC, is that website for the PAC. They
Mm.
don't know that we know that we have to have a Chicago Flips Red PAC bank account with the Chicago Flips Red PAC EIN. With the Chicago Flip, we have to register and all the stuff, the FCC and all that, FEC, FCC, whatever, all that. They know it takes a time process because we're doing it ourselves. We got people that are helping us that have done it themselves. You understand?
Mhm.
So, and then we have a great engineer that we love to death that also has a job. He's donating his
Mhm.
time to do this. So we have to wait till he has the stuff. And then we had to get registered with WinRed. All those things all take time. But
Mhm.
as an attorney, you would think that you would know that.
Yeah,
But he
but he,
thought the Chicago Flips Red LLC was for the Chicago Flips Red PAC. So trying to
mm,
make it seem like we were disorganized. No, we weren't. We were just were,
yeah.
we know the difference.
Yeah, and so what he did was Zoe just read you all the what he was started. He put that comment under there, and then once he made that comment, he did a whole post on his page about us, and then he did 3 more posts on his page about us. 3 more. He did. So he put that comment first. That's Zoe read to you all. Then he went on his page and made a whole post about us. That's when he talked about the LLC. Then he made another page. Then he made another post and then another post. So he did like 4 posts on us before we just did this right now.
Yeah.
So
So
this is him.
that's why it's two
Okay.
hours and 25 minutes. It's
Yeah.
a special one. Our famous Fridays, we because we wait. You know what I'm saying? We really don't try to do the famous Fridays
Mhm.
because the famous Fridays are career enders.
Yeah.
And
These were.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we don't have to say nothing else anymore. We just drop the link.
And drop the truth.
And
And
drop
it's
the
all
we drop
facts.
the link and
And let
drop the
it
truth.
and
Yeah.
let you feel how you feel. Let the
Yeah.
chips fall where they may, but you're not going to put a narrative out there, and we're not going to check it, especially when you're coming after smearing our name. And now we've been knew it, but you see the hate in his heart. The reason why he's doing that because he don't want nobody to know Chicago plus red from a year from now. So that's
Right.
where it comes from jealousy.
Right.
Jealousy and hate because
Because he lost his fame.
yeah, and you
But you
lost
know why he
every
lost?
case.
Because you kept losing the lawsuits. See, when you lose lawsuits, it's over. Like if you were like a Johnny Cochran,
Yeah,
you understand? If you were like a real criminal defense, if you was a Rob Kardashian,
if you
you
was good
understand?
at what you did,
They was Willie Garrett. They was getting them.
yeah,
Getting them. See,
if you were
you
good,
never got anywhere.
you never got and you lost to come to Kwame Raoul. So you lost your election, you lost lawsuits, you lost with the girl, you lost your license. You
Yeah,
lost you just a loser.
you're just a
You just
loser.
a losing
Like Miss
everything.
Jackson said, just a loser.
A loser, lost your
Yeah,
girl,
a
lost your
loser.
license, lost your all the lawsuits. So I don't understand but you
But
didn't
you
lose
did
weight.
make $1 million. That's
Yeah, but
it. You only
you
made a
made
million.
yeah, you made a million.
You never got up to like 2 million because you kept
No, she
losing.
said Awake Your Noise said about a couple of million, and that was just
Okay.
for the homeschooling situation. Remember they said he was doing the $200 here for the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was like you said, he was making some money. He was finessing them people and doing that, shiesty with a lawyer,
Oh, the shakedown.
Yeah, he was a shakedown. So he was shakedown at everybody, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah. So the thing is they're mad because the people we decided to get behind, we're getting behind, and the people that,
They
they
want us to
want they
get
winning.
behind. They want
Yeah.
us to get behind. It aligns with him.
Well, and yeah,
I just
anybody
can't do it.
aligning with this,
Yeah, I
this,
can't. Yeah, I'm not.
this person
No.
right here, no, we're not. So, but we're not talking. Look, we're not stopping you from doing anything you need to do. Come in Chicago, do what you think you need to do it. Whatever you feel like you need to do,
Because
come do
Pritzer
it.
got to get out.
Yeah, Prince got to get out. So we're not stopping gas. We are not stopping anybody. If you don't like us, let's just say you don't like Chicago Flips Red because you jealous, you got hate in your heart for us, whatever. Okay. But you can still come in Chicago and do what's necessary to win your election. Whatever it is you need to do, anybody, whatever it is you need to do in Chicago, come to Chicago and put in the work. Put your boots on the ground. Go knocking door to door. Go to these communities. Do it.
Go eat you some Harold's.
Yeah, we haven't stopped you from doing anything you need to do. We haven't said nothing. We haven't stopped nobody. We haven't tried to stop nobody. Just do it. Do you. But leave us alone.
Leave
Do
us alone.
you. But just leave us alone. That's all we're asking. Do whatever you feel like is necessary for you to win, whatever seat you need to win, whatever race you need to win. Do what you feel like you need to do, whatever is necessary. But just leave us alone. That's all we're asking. Leave us alone.
Just leave us alone.
Because the work we have to do, when you see how much work we have to do, we have so much work to do. Been doing it for years. We're not going to stop. And we're going to concentrate on what we need to do, saving Chicago. Leave us alone, please.
Well,
and I'm sure the residents, the real citizens would appreciate it as well. That you all, people like him, leave us alone. Because while I'm sure the real citizens of Chicago will appreciate that as well. Leave Chicago Flips Red alone. Leave them alone while they're helping us. Please do.
Thank you. Thank you. That's that piece, y'all.
Love y'all.
Please,
I love
y'all.
you all. We
Please
got our
like, share, subscribe.
Please share this. Please share. If we never ask you all to share this, when you have somebody who's actively trying to destroy Chicago, and he said it out Chicago Flips Red, and trying to hurt Chicago, when you have somebody actively like him fighting, this is so important. Share this. Please share this with everybody in Chicago. Please hashtag Save Chicago. Please do this, because if this person is trying to actively fight against what we're trying to do to help Chicago, that means he's trying to make sure Chicago don't have a fighting chance. And we need help here.
And honestly, it's giving racist.
Yeah, like it really is.
Yeah, it's
giving racist. I hate to use that word. I hate to say that like for real, but it's giving that. Because we are not going to say, even though we can't stand, this person, he came after another Black woman who was in a race, who was running for something.
Right.
He came
after Devore too.
Devore.
Yeah. He has a problem. Yeah.
All the Black women that were running for anything in these seats, in these conservative seats, he came after them. He came after them. So now it's giving racist.
Yeah,
it's giving racist. And you got the right ones.
Yes. So please I don't care for him. We will block you if you come on our page trying to get us to support. No, first of all, he owes us an apology. Yes. A public apology if he ever wants to speak to me ever. He owes us an apology. He owes Chicago Flips Red an apology, because I don't know what, somebody said, he is racist and hates kids. Yeah, that's why he charged $5,000 per school district. Because you hate kids.
Yeah. So don't worry about it, guys. We know how to deal with people like that. We're going to deal with these type of people. We keep telling you all, Democrat or Republican, we're not playing any games, guys. Chicago Flips Red. We're the new conservative party here in Chicago. We're creating our own lane for people who conservatives and the Republicans or Democrats. We're not playing any games, guys. That's why we keep telling y'all, we don't play. Listen, we're very serious about what we're doing. So anybody trying to stop us, anybody, we're not playing.
We're not
That's what
playing.
so yeah, love you all. We love
you all.
Chicago too much. We love the citizens too much to let anything stop us.
Yep. Peace, peace. That's that peace, y'all.
Bye bye. Love you all.
Yep.